Hello, welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Lauren.
And I'm Ian.
And this is the last summer workout of this summer. But the good news is that all 5 workouts are stored in the magic of YouTube. So you can go back anytime and play these summer workouts again, especially when it's in the middle of February.
Wishing that it was summer.
That's right.
Yeah.
We do have a new fall semester starting where we'll get back to those strength building skills development. But until then, one last summer workout tonight. So let's get started with our body weight. And then off to the side, we have 2 kettlebells.
2.
One we'll be using for some 2-handed swings. And the other, if you have 2, will be one that we press and do a get up, down, and up with. So get out those heavy-ish bells. Heavy for you.
And we'll get right down to the floor, starting with those knees, feet, ankles, and hips. So let's do those knees over toe squats, just like Lauren's showing there, and push those hips through, rooting the toes, cramping the glutes, also helpful cues for the swing. And we'll do knees over toes again. This time, stay down at that height as you lift one foot or the heel up off the ground, and then return, and do the same thing on the other side. Return that heel to the floor and push the hips through. This time, find those balls of feet and squeeze your glutes and brace your core, and we'll bend those knees, getting as safe low as you can, and then place the heels to the floor and push the hips back through. And this time we'll end up all around the floor as you go those knees over toes. The heels may lift to facilitate us getting lower, and then knees down, hips extend. We'll be hinging on those hips next, finding the floor with the fingertips, the callus lines, and then those full hands. Getting started at the head neck, start by extending the neck, meaning looking forward, and then tuck that chin, looking between the hands. Repeating series of 2 at the head neck, extension looking forward, and then chin tuck looking between the hands. Now keeping the fingers heavy, that first knuckle push-up task, as we slowly get the heels back to the floor, just like you do with the foot warm-up, balls of feet, or balls of hands in this case, and then right back down, full hands. Repeat one more time, and then down, and for the final one, push the floor away. For 5 or 10 seconds here, cramp the glutes like you're at the top of that kettlebell swing, and then bring that rib cage down. Very hard. Most likely, hips forward means we do the limbo, and chest forward means we do our dippy bird. But in the swing, we want to be in the middle of both those places. Come back to that in a second. Just do a 180-degree turn with those hands so the fingertips land facing the knees, fingers, calluses, and full hand. And this time at the head neck, a lateral ear to shoulder bend. And then through center, repeat the other way. An ear from the neck moving towards the shoulder. The nose stays in the same place. As you do this one more time to the other side, keep the head in about the same place. The neck moves very, very little. Then push your fingers to your knees, and that might create you drifting over your wrists. And then push into the palms, and it might send you back. Repeat that one more time of pushing fingertips heavy, drifting forward, and then bend the elbows this time, pulling ourselves all the way back with a little flick of the fingers to finish that out. Then extend those hips back to that tall planks position, and this time, place your hands out front. Imagine you're at the top of that kettlebell swing. The shoulders are retracted, the rib cage is down, the abs are on, and the glutes are cramping. The kettlebell will want to drag you forward, so hold your ground, but extend those hips, brace the core, and casually return those hands down low. Lauren has some more tips and tricks as you warm up here. What's next?
Well, since those hands are warmed up, we might as well get into our first plank before we warm up those lunges. Let's hinge on the hips, place our hands down, lightly pull your shoulders out of your ears, keep your elbows straight, and lift up to that plank position. You can imagine right now we're also at the top of our swing. So at the top of our swing, it's our hips or our butt cheeks and our core that stops us from extending, which means brace your core like you could take a punch, squeeze your cheeks, pull your kneecaps up, keep your shoulders out of your ears and your blades lightly pinched together for 3, 2, knees down. Take a break off that. Don't worry, we'll come back to that in a second. But let's explore that lunge as we do to warm up for our get up. Let's make this a little more dynamic today. So hike that front hip up and then pull it down. With that front leg pulled in, we'll do our usual drift, knee towards over toe, keeping the back hip extended. Should feel like a lot of work through that front hip flexor, and then press yourself back to tall. Right away, we'll change the vectors, pushing forward and back with those legs to create tension on the floor, to hover the knee off the floor. Then to come to that mid station, and finally to the top. In this top position, we still have a vertical shin. Let's try to keep a vertical front shin, but slowly try to straighten that back leg, but keep the hip butt cheek squeezing forward. Then pull that tension back to center, slowly descend, soft landing. This time we're going to go up together, 1, and then just like a get up, step back lunge, pull yourself down, 8-second descent, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, soft landing. Pull that leg underneath.
I think that's going the other way, but I like it.
I was going nowhere really, but I would be in the back of a canoe if I was canoeing. All right, back hip extended forward, front leg pulled in, square to the front of your room. Feel that extension through your back hip as you lightly drift knee towards over toe. As you go forward, try to keep your cage down. This doesn't come from that low back arch, but from the hip extension, back to center. Then we started pushing the floor forward back, creating tension by just hovering off the floor. And then to that mid station, and then ultimately up. Hip is forward, front shin is still bent. Then slowly descend, pulling yourself down. I might have got it wrong. No, I didn't. Now we go up together like a get up, and then we do a step back lunge, and it's the 8-second descent. You can canoe on the other side now for 8, 7, you don't want to canoe in circles, 2, soft landing. Good. Leg goes underneath. Let's go back to that plank position. For all you canoers out there, I'm sorry for that poor demonstration. Hands grip the floor, shoulders out of your ears, lightly retracted. Up. Put your feet in your hip width position like you would be in your swing. Squeeze your cheeks, pull the floor together. Without tipping or twisting, just lift one foot off the floor. And then put it down. And lift the other foot off the floor. And put it down. Let's do that one more time. No twisting those hips. Stay square. Keep the tension. Other leg. Keep the tension. Ugh. Knees down. Extend hips through. Whew. Let's pause ourselves here. And then we'll tuck our toes. Rock ourselves back to that low squat. Put your heels on the floor and move those feet a little wider. Let's find that low squat position. You didn't have to jump to find it, but it felt good if you could. Heels are down, chest is lifted, knees are driving apart. Now, just like we do in our lunge, could you come up a little bit higher? And then a little bit higher. And then that full extension to the top. And just for fun, let's 8-second descend. Pull yourself down into the squat. 5, 4, 3, 2, hang out just before the lowest position you could get. So you could hang out here, that's easy. Come up just a little bit. Hold for another 3, 2, and then press all the way up to top. The lowest position you can get.
Had some German volume training styles there, 8-second repetitions, but that time under tension is definitely that value that we're chasing today. We'll warm up our swing and then practice those get-ups under a load. So I'll be grabbing the lighter of my 2 loads here as we prepare to do the hike passes and those nice unique faces of the swing. You might start with your toes touching the bell, pivot on that heel and toe, replicate on the other side, and then find that position that you feel confident to swing from. 3 repetitions of a hike, 3 repetitions of a stop, and then 3 continuous swings. Let's do it. We set up our hike pass. Grab the bell, tip it with a breath in, and pull it to the groin or zipper and park. Repeat 2 more. So 1 more time and park it. Now 3 in a row, stop swing. Hike, out front, hike pass, and floor. Hike, out front, into the floor. And for 1 more time, squeeze, and return. Now 3 in a row, it never touches the floor until the last repetition. That's our 3rd. And then park it and come up. Because that'll also be in a little rack position as you press, let's just stand over top of that bell, do a quarter turn of that handle, and hold it in the rack position, visualizing successful presses to come up. Chap the hinge. Grab the bell, take a breath, and pull it to the rack. This is always a very heavy position for this kettlebell. Whew. Take a breath, cramp your glutes. What are you gonna do in a moment? I'm gonna press that overhead. Okay, then return it to the ground. little shake and wiggle, and then same thing then on the other side. Hip hinge, grab it, pull it up, hold, brace, maybe get that fist off to the side for some tension, and then return to the floor and come up barehanded. So going forward here, we'll have a heavy bell, and that will be for swinging, and then a little bit of lighter bell, that's for our press and get up.
Over the course of the past couple of weeks, our summer workouts have been simple in patterning, maybe not easy in
Execution.
fulfillment. That was a better word, execution. So today is simple again, which means we are going to be performing upwards of those 10 get-ups, 1 on each side, followed by 5 swings, 5 swings, 5 swings, 5 swings. So 10 swings in between each set of get-ups. Find the kettlebells that work for you. Run, get them right now. Good. Bring them underneath you. We'll start with our get up right away. This is set 1 of 5. It'll be a press to overhead, a full get up down, and back up. Here we go. With the bell of your choice. Hip hinge, pull to rack. Press the bell overhead, and then it's that leg you can touch that'll drop back. Open up. Rotate hinge. Sweep. Elbow to your back. Let's keep that bell up. And then return up, elbow, hand, bridge, sweep, press away, front foot moves, pull the bell down to the rack position with control, 2 hands, park your kettlebell. Shake it out.
Nice. And we have 2 sides. So here we go for that next side. Hike pass to the rack position with the bell. Full body tension on that press, and then take your time coming down. Open up on that windmill. Find the floor, sit tall, elbow next to the ground. Then drive the hip, tall sits to follow, a bridge, a sweep, square up, and tall stand in that lunge, and control back to that rack position. Whew, as I clipped my mic, taking time in between.
So as mentioned, we do have 2 kettlebells today. You might be able to do this practice with 1, and that will be a-okay.
Fantastic.
The bell, I want to do my 2-handed swings. I can't repeatedly, confidently press. So I've gone up a bell for my swings. We'll stand behind your bell. I go, you go. Let's
5
start
swings.
5.
Take your time in between sets here and follow one of us and rest with one of us as well. The feet are heavy, the elbows are straight, and that 24 kg bell of Lauren's is popping out nice and tall.
All right, team Ian, 5 swings here. It's that I go, you go, which as you know is that perfect equal work to rest ratio.
Breathe. As you're relaxing, you want to slow down that breath. As you can hear and see, the timing is that exertion is going to follow that hip extension on that kettlebell swing.
All right, team Ian, second round of 5 here. If you can move your bells less around, you should try, but arrange as appropriate. That hip drive puts you in the plank position at the top of your swing.
Nice.
We're on set 2 of our get-ups here. I'm going to encourage you to start with your non-dominant hand.
Okay.
First side, over top of your bell. Hip hinge grip, rack it, press it, get up, down. We're looking up towards that bell once we hinge, sweep, elbow. Remember, this move isn't a crunch. It's a hip drive, pull on that elbow. Squishing the bug, bridging, sweeping, pressing away. And then using both legs. Bell control to the rack position, and then park. Sometimes I just like to do those mid-workout.
And sometimes not in a workout.
That's true. Same thing. It's very powerful, isn't it? Second side. To the rack. To the overhead. Full get up, down again. Think of that lunge we did in the warm-up, scissoring the tension. Sweeping through. Finding your elbow. Pushing away. Here we go, back. Up elbow. Hand. Sweep. Press away. Front leg. up to tall, vertical forearm, park that belt with control.
That team Lauren went first last time on the swings, so follow me for our first set of 5. Hinge, 2 hands.
Pack those shoulders before you pull the belt, and then hips, bam, bam. Hips drive through, cheek squeeze, full extension at the top. Try to make the seam of those pants flat, but not curved either way.
No party tricks. We're not doing limbo here. Maybe stick around for Saturday's class, working on some of that flexibility. But right now, high tension, high effort, and high safety by making sure the hips and the ribs connect to the top position of the swing.
I'm going to come through the screen here, and I'm going to ask permission, but I'm going to punch in the stomach and punch in the butt. Punch in the stomach, punch in the butt. Ooh. Good. The butt cheeks. Make sure they're tight.
The meaty part, the glute max. Push those hips all the way through and connect them with the ribs or the abs again to make sure we don't overextend that kettlebell swing. 3, 4, 5s come around quick. Parking it, relaxing and shaking. This is our 3rd set, or reps 5 and 6 of our press to get up. And here we go. Back to that dominant side. Take a breath. Team Captain Lauren, you doing all right?
You're doing great.
Okay. So tip it, pull it, rack it, and press. Single leg drops. Now look at that kettlebell as you do your windmill, and then sweep that leg through. Sit proud on the elbow and plank tension to the ground. Then drive the hip in reverse. Tall sit, big strong bridge, sweeping the leg. Press through, square up and stand, and pull it down with control. And then return it to the ground and wait for Captain Lauren to tell us what to do next.
Same thing on the other side. Guess what? I get to take you over the hump here.
Love it.
Second side, hip hinge, grip, rack it, press it. Leg you can touch. Control the down, not as slow as your canoe, but slow. Use your sweep. Elbow to your back, pushing away. Keep it up. Pull in that elbow. Squish the bug. Bridging, sweeping. Pressing away. Front foot, up together. Vertical forearm, control to the rack. And then place the belt down with control. It's our turn to go first.
That's right. We get a little extra rest here. How's the workout going? Comments, likes, subscribes, or questions, email us. We always like hearing from our students. That's you. So thank you for being here. And checking in. If you need an extra set to take a little extra rest, feel free. You know your body
goes
best.
while we shake it out and take a break in between. We have all that tension in our swing, all that tension in our get up. So shake it out in between. Second time.
That's right. And again, my swings are feeling a little bit tired as my heart rate's up here, but I'm also feeling some of these swings are the best. We're just grooving it out and feeling the repetitions that feel the best for you.
Remember, the setup and the placement of the bell at the beginning and the end of your swings are just as important as the meaty part of your swing. If you do have to move your bells as I am here today, stand up tall, finish your swings, then hinge again to move them out of the way.
Cues as always.
We're in round number
4,
7 and 8.
7 and 8.
Get up. So we're back to that non-dominant side to start. If we kept that tradition, here we go. Hip hinge grip, pull to rack, press it overhead, step back lunge, open up, windmill, sweep, elbow, back, up again, to the elbow, to the hand, bridge sweep, press to tall, come through, and then control it down. I was just thinking here about how much space I'm actually taking up, and I'm probably only taking up
2 by 2 tiles.
Yeah, maybe like 1, 2, 4, 6 by 6. I mean, I'm not that tall, but about 6 by 6 feet I know I should be metric, but you don't need that much space to do it. Do watch your ceilings depending on your ceiling height and your height. Second side.
Lots of room. Oh, my cue. Okay, we tip it, we pull it, we rack it, we practice that full body tension to press, then drop back in the lunge, windmill, look at the bell, sit tall, find the elbow, push off, and reverse. It's a hip drive, a tall sit, a bridge and sweep, press away, squaring up, standing tall, and then pulling down, back to the ground. And then this is coming up to those last sets. We have 5 swings, and then again, 5 swings.
Team Ian goes first this time. Grip tip, set up properly, pack your shoulders, hips drive the bell through, hips drive the bell through. Always to that chest height, arms are extended. It's the hips swinging that bell.
Hips, not arms. A heavier kettlebell might fix that, but it's not always about going heavy. It's about finding the right power from the hips and glutes to satisfy the requirement to get it to that chest height. 5 comes around quick. Those rests are quicker. Here we go.
I hope in that side profile of mine, you're seeing a couple things. One being that hinge on every swing. You'll notice you'll see the bell reach out behind me. If I don't see that, I know you're losing your hinge.
That's right. You want to avoid the squat in your hinge. Similarly, you want to avoid your hinge in your squat. Both are great lifts. We'll practice the hip hinge or the deadlift for the swing, and those squats for other parts of our practice to explore at a later date. But that is it for this set. There is one more set. We're back to the other side, or that independent strongly side here.
So set 9 or get up number 9 and 10 here.
Sounds good.
First side, it's a nice clean press. One last press overhead. Hippity hop. All the muscles in the body. Good. Step back lunge. Open up. Last rotation on the way down on this side. Sweeping. Elbow. Back. Come back up. Just standing by driving the hip. Pushing into the floor. Bridging and sweeping. Pressing away. Squaring up. Tall. Pull the bell down. Park it with control. Oh, done with that side.
We have one more side.
I mean, you still need to use it.
So let's get going. It's that hip hinge, a clean to the rack position, up, or hippity hop, as someone says, and then drop in a lunge, windmill style. Sit tall in the sweep, find the elbow and then onto the back, and one last hip drive up. Hip, tall sit, bridging and sweeping. Press the floor away, square up that lunge, stand tall, and control to that rack position, and then back to the floor. Done for those get-ups, but one more set of those swings. I think Team Lauren gets to go first, so that's gonna be 5 swings. Finish strong. We started strong, so let's actually just finish stronger with integrity, picking on that one thing in your swing. It could be the chest height. It could be those hips all the way through. It could be slower breath in your rest. I'm struggling here. And the breathing timing with your swing like Lauren.
All right, Team Ian, second last set here. This will make a total of 50 swings. That's a great number. Any number is great. Doing anything is great. So I hope you're joining us and not just watching.
Don't just watch.
But you can do that too because it helps our view time.
Like, subscribe, don't just watch. But here is Lauren's last set of swings. High tension. You can hear it. You can see it. Chest height and that punch idea to make sure you're braced on the core.
All right, Team Ian, last set. We're shaking it out. We're watching these swings, keeping that hinge on every swing. Retracted shoulders, lats engage, hips drive through.
5.
Oh.
Awesome.
Take a second off. Let's finish with our little breathing drill.
Sounds good.
So taking a nice big inhale through the nose and an exhale, also through the nose if allowed. Repeating again, in and out. Try to fill 360 degrees and up and down and exhale. And now let's add some rules. In for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold empty for 4. In for 4. Hold. Let's try to go in more. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. The hardest part, hold empty for 4. And one more round, in for 4. Hold for 4. In more. Hold. Exhale. Hold. And relax.
Shake it out. Week 5 of 5 here for the summertime workout, kettlebell style, complete. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you very much for being here. And we're not done though. Thursday, we do have that bar class on the other side of the room. Push-ups or presses, I'm not sure what it's going to be, so stay tuned for the surprise, but it will definitely include mobility drills for the hips. We'll shake it out. Be loose like a goose down low and strong like steel up top.
Check out our website. We have some new blog posts up. Our newsletter, as always, to stay in touch with everything we've gotten up to over the past couple months. Check out also our Patreon and make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. As mentioned on Thursday, we're back live online, as well as Saturday morning, we'll have something up for you then. Until next time, take care.
Stay strong.
And let's train soon.
Have a good day.
Goodbye. Oh, there's 5 people.